Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our philosophy series, where we explore timeless concepts in a modern context. The journey today is into one of India's most intriguing and revolutionary philosophical traditions, Charvaka. Today, we'll explore the lasting impact of Charvaka philosophy on secularism and materialistic thought, not just in India, but across the world. By the end of this video, you'll see how this ancient system of thought continues to echo in debates about empiricism, rationality, and secularism. To understand Charvaka's impact, we first need to revisit what it stood for. Charvaka, also known as Lokayata, was a school of thought that flourished in ancient India, likely emerging around 6th century BCE. It stood apart by outright rejecting metaphysical speculations, religious dogma, and any concept of an afterlife. Instead, it emphasized a materialistic worldview, relying solely on sensory perception, what can be seen, heard, touched, or otherwise directly experienced, as the foundation of knowledge. Charvaka dismissed spiritual testimonies, inference, and supernatural beliefs, challenging dominant philosophies like Vedanta and Buddhism. Its mantra, what you see is what you get. Simple, direct, and strikingly modern, isn't it? Now, while Charvaka itself didn't survive as an organized school, its core ideas never truly disappeared. They left an indelible mark on Indian intellectual history and seeded the development of rationalist and secular traditions. How, you ask? Let's dive into this. First, Charvaka's materialism directly challenged the dominance of religious orthodoxy. In a time when the Vedas were considered the ultimate authority, Charvaka dared to reject scriptural authority entirely. By doing so, it planted the seeds of secularism, an idea that the governance of society and personal belief systems should not be dictated by religious texts. Even centuries later, when Mughal and colonial influences shaped Indian society, the echoes of Charvaka could be felt in the arguments of reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy and later in the secular principles of Indian leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru. Nehru's emphasis on a scientific temper and rationality in the newly independent India reflects the same pragmatic, empirical focus that Charvaka advocated long ago. Charvaka's rejection of metaphysics also influenced modern philosophical discourse. Let's talk about literature and modern thinkers for a moment. Charvaka ideas have occasionally resurfaced in works that critique blind faith or authoritarianism. For example, in 20th century India, the writings of scholars like D.D. Kosambi revisited Charvaka to argue against superstition and promote rationalist thinking. Kosambi, a historian and mathematician, admired Charvaka's empiricism and highlighted how its principles could counteract the dogma of both religious and political ideologies. But Charvaka's influence isn't limited to India. In fact, its materialist underpinnings resonate with Western traditions too. Consider the ancient Greek school of Epicureanism, which, like Charvaka, sought to minimize suffering and maximize enjoyment in life without resorting to divine intervention. Fast forward to the Enlightenment period in Europe, where thinkers like David Hume emphasized empirical knowledge, and you'll find parallels with Charvaka's focus on sensory perception as the sole source of truth. Although Charvaka as a philosophy didn't directly shape these movements, its ideas reflect a universal human tendency to question authority and value reason. Now let's bring this closer to today. In contemporary India, debates on secularism often draw from the rationalist ethos Charvaka embodied. Movements like the Dravidian movement in South India, led by figures like Periyar E.V. Ramasamy, echo Charvaka's critique of religious orthodoxy and social hierarchies. Periyar advocated for a society built on rational principles, not dictated by religious or caste-based systems. Sound familiar? It's Charvaka, reborn for a modern age. Even in global contexts, Charvaka's spirit is alive. In debates about empiricism versus postmodernism, Charvaka's insistence on sensory evidence remains relevant. It serves as a reminder that while abstract theories and metaphysics have their place, grounding our understanding in observable reality is an enduring principle of both science and philosophy. So, what can we take away from Charvaka's legacy? First, it's a shining example of intellectual courage, standing up against dominant ideologies and offering a radically different perspective. Second, it shows us the value of a secular, rational approach to life and governance, one that doesn't depend on metaphysical or religious assumptions. And third, Charvaka reminds us to appreciate life in the here and now rather than getting caught up in speculations about the afterlife or abstract ideals. It's a philosophy that grounds us, challenges us, and, most importantly, inspires us to think for ourselves. I hope this video helped you see how the ideas of an ancient Indian philosophy still resonate today. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more explorations into philosophy made simple. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.